Welcome to Operation Old School Audio, Episode 4, East to West Coast. One thing I miss about back home is my friends. Man, geez, 24 years ago, look at that. Wow, we were young.
This is the crossover I had installed in the Land Cruiser with the 615s. This crossover was feeding a linear power, I think a 952 on the highs and a VLX 25 on the 615s from US Amps. And yeah, it sounded great, still in good shape. I actually thought that this was more scratched up, so this is exciting. I'll look forward to using this again. Now this is a unicorn. I know there's somewhere out there somewhere, but this is the only one I've ever had. It's brand new, never installed. This is to go with my 4100 and 2350GX. I'm hoping that system I'm going to put into my vintage Toyota Land Cruiser as a period correct system, because that truck is a 88 and this gear would be from the 80s. So awesome. Star and Moon DIN plugs, never used, beautiful. I wish I still had the original box for it, but I do have the original owner's manual for it underneath it, which is pretty cool. It's all typewritten with a typewriter. Phoenix Gold PLD1 Pro line driver. This went with my Phoenix Gold Son of Frank Ampenstein. Unfortunately, my Son of Frank, I shipped it back to Phoenix Gold in the late 90s to have one channel fixed on it, and somebody snatched it out of the mail. So I still have the line driver, and I have the AX406A, the black with the speckle paint in it. This is also the same paint they use for the limited team series. Yeah, I'm still trying to track that amp down. I'm going to try to figure out what the serial number is on it. I think I actually might have found where it is, but I'm not 100% sure. PPS 100, phantom power supply from Orion. So if you have the processors and you don't have the DIN plug to connect to the amps to run your processors, you would need a PPS 100. And that will go really good with some of these other units that I will be eventually undigging. And check out what's on the box. You know that from my Instagram feed. Yep, that is the Orion Dually. That is the one with the cap that raises up. They had all the 2100s that were in the brushed aluminum. This is a big deal. And why it's a big deal is, look at the date on that. It says 1997. This is a DSP. So we're in 2022 and everybody's adopting DSPs into their SPL and their sound cue systems. But this was an evaluation board used for the engineering department to evaluate the potential of using their chip for future DSP use. So this is basically showing the very beginnings of in-car DSP, because that is a 12-volt powered module. And there it is, 1997. So that's the significance of this Mediani X processor. And many of you out here will know this puppy. That's the famous Zapco Paragraphic. And it's kind of crazy about this this Paragraphic EQ is it's assignable. It has input gain controls on the front of it. But look at how many connections on the back. The reason why is it has a built-in two-way crossover on it. See that right there? It has an adjustable crossover with high and low outputs right on the back of it. And this is tiny. This is like a half of a DIN radio size. So you can put two of these side by side to make about the size of a regular DIN radio. This guy here, check out what it is. It's a remote DIN power supply. So this uses an external power supply to run it. And I showed you another piece that was the actual power supply we may end up using with this. I have to check my pinouts and my voltage, but we may end up using this to run this. All right, so everybody knows the epicenter But did you know about the FULTRON sub-bass expander? Yep. Who is FULTRON, you may ask? Well, people who have been around for a minute will tell you that there's a little company called Memphis Car Audio. Well, Memphis Car Audio was formed by the Arthur Fulmer Company, corporation I should say, and they originally called all the electronics FULTRON. So yes, what do you think? Did they make a good change by going from FULTRON to Memphis Car Audio? I will tell you that I believe the transition was in the 90s when they came out with the FULTRON Memphis Bell amplifier, which was such a huge success that they decided to adopt the Memphis name for the entire line. I think that was the catalyst. Somebody might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but I did notice that after that amplifier came out, they changed the name of the whole company. This here is a home A to D unit, and what the significance is of this is this company, Museatex, they bought ADS first, and where the significance pulls into later, this company would also buy ORION, PPI, and Apogee acoustics as well. So it's interesting how a company that most people don't know the name of was able to buy much larger, well-known companies and expand them. Another interesting piece here we have is at the very end, and I think you might find this interesting. BK Butler with his tube driver amplifiers also had a collaboration with Phase Audio at one point in time, and this is the LDX23. So this is a balanced input, just like Pro Audio, and balanced output active crossover. Check that out. Low pass, band pass, and high pass. So you can run subs, mids, and highs, stereo, all balanced off of a 12-volt unit. And check it out. Preamp section gain stage is tubes. You don't see these around very often. I'm really excited to have this. I need to get the tape off of it somehow without damaging. It has a tube driver logo underneath. But okay, so this was container number 3, preamps. Pretty awesome. I know I have some more somewhere else, some actual mobile A to D converters. So we'll try digging those out here sometime soon, and then maybe that'll be in the next video. Let's see what we come up with in the next container. This is pretty cool. If you have the OG Gen 1 Orion gear or other amplifiers from the 80s that had DIN plugs, then you definitely know that these kind of cables are clutch. There's the DIN to DIN for going from your EQs and crossovers to the amps, and then there's DIN to RCAs if you're integrating the amps to other gear that do not have DINs, as there was a big shift to just using RCA plugs there at the late 80s. But yeah, this is cool to find these cables. I have the 4100 GX and 2350 GX. Also have a 2125 and a 280, and I can interconnect them using these DINs and put together a cool old school system with the 3100 SVF crossover, and yeah, it'll be pretty cool. All right. Awesome find. Driving a lifted truck, 8-inch lift in Pittsburgh. Denali. My friend Felix just got his lift done at 4WP. Riding tall, gonna get it home. My old neighborhood up here, that is where the auto bathhouse used to be. And there's Audio Communications over there, which is now out of business. Building was just sold. A little bit rainy here in Pennsylvania. Putt Golf, local entertainment. Up on the right was a place where Monroeville Music was. That's where all your sound equipment would have been. I think they're long out of business now. So I helped him go pick up his truck, got some fender flares put on it, color matched. Overall, the biggest thing I miss about back home is my friends. Good friends are priceless. Thank you for taking this journey with me, and stay tuned for episode 5 coming up next. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Eat, sleep, bass, repeat.